What up? What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. It's NBA Talk with Jay Money. We back another day. This is my fourth show of the day. I don't mind, man. We love doing this. We're passionate about this. We do this every single day. We got our guy Sharks in Sports with us. We got my guy Josh as well at Punt_school on Twitter. What's up with you, Shark? Everything cool with you, my brother?
Absolutely. Monday, May 2nd, 2022. Punt School in the house in Australia. 2-game card today. Game ones have been difficult. A lot of angles to consider. Josh, what's going on today, brother?
What's happening, guys? Thanks for having me back on again. As always, keen to talk basketball. Always happy to talk basketball, no matter what time it is this side of the world. So glad I could jump on and join you. And let's talk some more game one action because it's going to be a good day ahead.
Definitely gonna be a good day ahead, my guys. It's definitely a good day. Hope you guys been living the life out there, man. Wherever you at, live it to your fullest, man. You see what I'm saying? We're trying to get some cash, but it's all business, right? A couple of game ones here. Let's get straight into business. It's all business here, guys. First game up, we're going to the streets of Miami here. We got the Heat here laying 7.5 versus the Sixers. We know there won't be any Joel Embiid. You could have possibly got this. The line was out there, guys, for a couple of days at the Heat -4. If you really did like them, a lot of people probably hopped on them quick. If you I always say, guys, when the news come out, you have a few minutes to get on it. Well, but we got the Heat here laying 7.5. Shark, you like some of this game, my brother?
No, I do not. And I think this is very difficult stuff. And I made a comment in a group chat going about an hour ago back. And I said one question. And I think this is very important. And this is very important to teach people a little bit in the world that we live in. If you're looking at this game in the middle of a 9-game card on a Wednesday afternoon in January, would you target this game? And the guys in the group chat said no. And that is the key point. Just because it's a playoff game doesn't mean you have to bet it. Sometimes the books clean up the playoffs way bigger than the regular season. It's sharper lines, it's harder dynamics, and because everybody decides it's a big game for the sport, it has to be a big game for me, the bettor. And that is not true at all. On this game, the teams have been flip-flopping wins and losses this whole year. Go back to the first one, 101-96 early season. Of course, then it came back. Philadelphia at Miami, revenge game, 109-98. The line did move up at that point, which was a strong figure for Miami. 99-82 win and cover, and most recently 113-106 in Philadelphia. However, the rosters have been all over the grid. Joel Embiid did not play in the last matchup. He's not playing tonight. Tyrese Maxey, I called him out the other night on one of my shows. This kid is so underrated as an energy point within the second unit, flex first unit. Hell of a player, juggernaut, shoots well, drives well, great mental makeup as a professional. Tough game for me. Josh, any comments here?
This is a really hard one. Obviously, the back of the Embiid news changes the landscape of this one. There's still no Kyle Lowry for Miami either. I think the one positive, if you will, for Miami is the fact that they played in this exact situation a month ago where they were at home to Philadelphia, who sat their superstars, and they lost outright that night as -8-point favorites. So, I mean, they have a reference point as to something that Eric Spoelstra can sort of call on and point out the fact that if they're not fully engaged from the get-go here for the full 48 minutes, they can get rolled. And that might actually work in their favor and at least prevent them from sleepwalking through this one. Because when you look at the actual matchups and the stylistic approaches of both teams, everything screams Miami here. And they should really be winning this game by double digits. I mean, the defensive schemes that they'll run, the zone defenses that they'll run, they're one of those few teams who can literally change their defense every single possession and go from man to zone and back again, which makes it incredibly difficult in the playoffs to then try and find any sort of rhythm when you're having to tackle a different defense every single set. And again, the fact that this game is going to be played almost entirely in the half court because neither team likes to play in transition, again, just suits Miami drastically. So, look, realistically, the Heat, I think, should be winning this game by double digits, but you're paying an absolute premium on this line. I think it's going to be pretty sharp as well. I think come the final few minutes of this game, we're going to be sitting at that 6 to 8 point range, and either side basically is in position to cover, and it just comes down to late execution. So it's a firm pass for me, ultimately. I do lean towards Miami. I think that ultimately, over the course of the full series, they probably get it done quite comfortably, but I like the Heat a lot in this spot.
Yeah, that's a good point there. Like I say, man, I like the Heat before at that -4, but now it's up to 7.5. Now, obviously, everyone is on their side. I even thought that with with all of their rest, first off, these guys shouldn't still be questionable. They know that they're playing. Why are you manipulating? I understand that it's kind of chess for the other side. Come on, man. It's the playoffs. What are we doing here? Butler already said he's playing for sure. Now Kyle Lowry is out. The Heat are somewhat a different team without him because then Butler is running the point guard, him and Tyler Hero. I like Lowry out there getting it for the defense wise and out there getting all of those charges as well. So I like the Heat a lot more. I think they're Eastern Conference contenders, really real good contenders with full squad. Without Lowry, they're a little bit worse, but I still think that you got to take care of business, right? Without Joel Embiid, he's basically the MVP of the league here. When he's out, this isn't a regular season. We were on the Heat when they ruled out Harden and Embiid, but it's a little bit different time now. Now you're trying to get to 4 wins regardless, right? And he's going to be back for game 3 and above. You got to come out here and get both of these wins if you're the Heat, if you ask me. So even at the 7.5, I still like it, but my money is not on it. But I wouldn't be looking towards the Sixers here. And psychologically, you get them. They know that you basically already, I can't say that they just lost the series, but I mean, come on now. Even when he comes back, his thumb's already messed up. Now he got a swole eye. Like, what are we doing here, right? So psychologically, they're probably like, damn, we're damn near already done, expecting to go down 0-2 already. So I don't like where they are mentally after losing their best player. It's Heat or nothing for me here. I think their defense can really come down here and clamp down on these guys, Shark. Any other thoughts on this game and any thoughts of a total and what's going on with the injury report, man? Why are they still doing this shit?
Injury report is a different conversation for a different day. We just don't know. I called out Adam Silver in the regular season every day. As you mentioned, we have seen this at the highest level in the playoffs. Jimmy Butler sitting out a clinching game against Atlanta, corrupting the line of the environment. It should not happen. And of course, you could say they're in bed with the books, the media, who knows, but it shouldn't happen. One final comment from me on this. I do think all the points you made about Miami are strong. Of course, Miami did clean up Atlanta in game 1 in the first round. And Philly here is deplete of talent, of course. Mm-hmm. It's going to be tough. If I had a free play, I would lean Miami here, though. Josh, any final comments, or should we move on?
No, I don't think I have anything more to add. I think if you want to look at the total here as well, the only way I would look at it is probably go the over, which is a little bit strange. But just looking at that number and I guess the different situation that Philadelphia is in offensively, they're probably not going to get into as many late shot clock situations as they would when they have Embiid there, and they know that they have someone they can get the ball to in the final 6 seconds and let him basically finish the possession one way or another. They'll try and be a little bit more aggressive in attacking the Heat defense early, I think, which, whether it's successful or not, it should give us a few more possessions both ways here. So if you want to look at the total, I would look at the over, but just like the line, I think it's going to be pretty tight come the final few minutes of the game.
Yeah, that's a good point. Last thing I'll say on this one, we'll see how Bam Adebayo does in this game because the Sixers, they don't have a ton of depth at the center position. I know they got guys like Paul Reed. You likely won't see DeAndre Jordan in this game, guys. I bet you Doc Rivers wished that they never even signed him. They'll keep him for the rest of the season, but you probably won't see him probably ever again in this league, guys. Let's just put it that way. So if we see DeAndre Jordan, I'll definitely be live betting this game if he's out there. But I think that's the key point to this game. They don't have a ton of centers, depth at the center position already without their best player in MVP, Joel Embiid. Be interesting to see how this game goes, Shark. Let's go over here to the streets of Phoenix here. We got the Suns here laying 6. Was down to 5.5, back up to 6 now with some juice towards the Suns here. Maybe a big bet, some big bets coming in on Phoenix here, guys. Suns laying 6. Shark, it's game 1 of the series. They've owned the Mavs here. Seems like a pretty easy game here. Suns laying 6 here, Shark. What are we doing?
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe some syndicates heard that I had a buy hat percolating in the background here pre-show, but we are here. We are centered on a suddenly not so casual, my favorite Monday, May 2nd, 2022. Buy hat is engaged. As Jay mentioned, Phoenix has owned Dallas. 9 straight victories dating back to the Orlando bubble 2 summers ago. Usually I would suggest this is going to reverse. However, this is the playoffs, and a key point, this streak, 9-0, is straight up, not ATS. Dallas has actually been quite efficient covering spreads against Phoenix, where I think this could come the other direction. If you look at what happened in the regular season this year, without Luka Doncic early season, Dallas did go in there and cover 2 games, both very, very close, 105-98. on a -8 and 112-104 on an 8.5. So a 1 point and a hook cover. Then it came back short. Phoenix -1.5 to 109-101 Phoenix most recently. However, what I'm looking at here is not only a line gap, -1.5 road to 5.5 home is strong. Last year in the playoffs, in the second round, Phoenix caught Denver in game 1. Last year in the regular season against Denver, Denver had done the exact same thing that Dallas did this year to Phoenix. They played back-to-back games in the same gym early season in Phoenix and took them to overtime in both games. Then Phoenix came on the road and covered. It's a very similar dynamic here. Final point. As we mentioned when we unofficially dropped Phoenix game 1, round 1, Monty Williams and the boys with Chris Paul, D Book, and these absolute professional grinders love game 1 at home. They don't tank. They come out with juice and focus. Official play -5.5, 1 unit. Punt School Australia dynamics on court, I believe.
Yeah, I hate to say this, TJ. I love Phoenix in this series. I love the matchup for them. I think that they are going to get it done pretty comfortably as well. So firstly, like you said, Shark, game 1 of a series at home, Phoenix has just been absolute juggernauts under Monty Williams with CP3 there. Perfect last season. They got the job done against New Orleans again this season to start things off. You look at this matchup stylistically as well, and the one thing that stands out to me is Dallas's defense, elite at rim protection, elite at defending the perimeter, extremely susceptible to mid-range shooting and the mid-range game. And now you have to deal with Chris Paul and Devin Booker, who quite literally live in the mid-range, and they're two of the best shot makers and shot creators in that range. And that, I think, is a really big point of emphasis in how Phoenix is going to be able to attack things offensively. And then you look at them defensively, I think Phoenix is going to look like the juggernaut defensively this series that we knew they were all season. They don't have, or rather the Mavs don't have the same sort of ability, if you will, to make them look as vulnerable as what the Pelicans did, because they lack that genuine size inside and that genuine big man presence inside in the same way that the Pelicans had. And they don't play quite with the same pace either, which is how you can get to Phoenix, especially in transition and attacking them early in the shot clock. So having them slow down possessions, having them play methodically in the half court, that plays into Phoenix's hands pretty drastically. And I think that's going to be something that comes to the fore, especially in game 1. And I do think that Dallas will kind of work things out as the series progresses as to how to be more efficient offensively. But for game 1, when both teams, generally speaking, revert to their most comfortable style of basketball, that's when it's going to come in favor of Phoenix, because their more comfortable style happens to counter exactly what Dallas does naturally. So I think the Suns game 1 is a great look here. I'm also on the -5.5. I wouldn't be against laying 6 here either. I think that's probably the cutoff point, though, in terms of value for me. But I will let Jay talk to the Mavs on this one and the other side of the fence.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like the Mavs here, but I mean, you could call it homer play. It's nothing official for me on this game. I could see anything happening in this game. There are a lot stronger looks for me tomorrow, guys. These are the playoffs. You don't have to force bets if you don't absolutely love something. You see what I'm saying? I like putting some money down. Like, I know for a fact we finna come back and cash this shit, and I know on the fence, kind of, I lean this way or something. So I do lean the Mavs here plus the 6. The interesting dynamic here is that the Suns, they've owned us. They've owned the Mavs, won 9 straight times. They hadn't faced this version of the Mavs, guys. And really, this version of the Mavs has been playing some top 3 seed basketball in the NBA, like literally since the All-Star break, and even a little bit before that, since we got rid of Paper Plate Porzingis bum ass. So this is a lot stronger defensive team. This team is locked in right now collectively. I like what Brunson's saying after the last playoff series. We hadn't done anything. There's still a lot more basketball to be played. Jason's kid is really, it's crazy because I didn't like the hire at first, but he really knows how to get this team going psychologically. He gives the teams days off when they come back home. He just knows how to coach them up because he was a player there once, so he knows the good and the bad, how to coach these guys, and it's really taking his team far. They have a 3-headed monster and Dinwiddie, Brunson, and Luka, and I think it's going to be pretty tough for those Suns tonight. I see the Suns win this game by 3 to 4 points, winning, going up 1-0, but it's going to be a tight game. I wouldn't be surprised if every single game game in this series comes down to the last bucket. I could see it being a 2-point game with a few seconds left. CP3 having to try to close the game out, taking the air out of the ball. So I think taking the points in this game one would be the thing for me. And what I like to do in game one, when a team has been owning them over the regular season, psychologically, you want to get over that hump, especially when you're going through a 7-game series. That first game is huge for you because it's either you're going to continue to get owned by the Suns or you're going to come out here with something to say and throw the whole kitchen sink at them to try to get a win here. You got to remember they got triple revenge from the regular season as well. Suns have owned them. I think at the very worst that the Mavs can keep this game close and have a shot to win at the end, guys. So usually I'll be honest. I've never been so sure of something as the Mavs versus the Jazz. Obviously, the Suns are far better than us, but I do think we can match up well with them. Dorian Finney-Smith and Reggie Bullock, they can slow down Booker, if you ask me, and I still don't think he's 100%. Yeah, I'd be leaning towards the Mavs here plus the 6, my guys. Shark, anything else on this one?
Yeah, one final point, and I do think all those points are extremely valid. This is going to be a great 7-game series, 6 or 7 most likely. There's going to be some great buy spots on Dallas in this series without question. Dallas will show up at some point in this series. I do think if you go back to last year, one final point, Phoenix last year did the exact same thing they did this year in the first round. They played a 6-game series against the Lakers. They just played a 6-game series against the Pelicans. They just had a closeout game on the road that was rather tight against the spread. Phoenix did come out in game 1 against Denver flat in the first half. I saw a couple of people wanting to take the first quarter, first half, because again, we did advise in game 5 on this show, Jay, to take Phoenix first quarter, first half against the Pelicans. Mm-hmm. However, tracking this fluidity, which we talk about line functionality, you can also track schedule fluidity. This is the same exact thing. Phoenix played an identical first round series last year to what they did this year. So if we're following that, game 1 of the second round would be a tight first half with Phoenix opening it up late. That's my only other comment on that. Josh, anything else?
Yeah, I like this comment as well of the under in this game. I like the under probably a lot in the series. Mm-hmm. These are two teams who are extremely methodical in how they play the game of basketball, both very happy to play in half-court sets as well. I think the number of possessions will be low. Neither team going to dominate, I don't think, the offensive glass. So there's going to be a lot of one-and-done possessions and then walking it up the other end. That 214 looks very inviting. So I would certainly lean towards an under if you want to play the total here.
Yeah, I want to take the under as well because I feel like the Mavs have been shooting a lot of threes. We've seen them come out and have a bad game first half, and it goes under by a mile. But we've also seen them hit threes as well. And one thing I know, total bettors, apparently, whoever the professional guys, total guys, they've been pushing this one up. It opened at 212.5. It touched 215. It's back down to 214.5. So I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of scratching my head at this at the total going up because I think if it is a Suns game, that means both defense have a good game, but the Mavs likely go under their team total and struggle to score. So it'll likely be Suns and under, or if the Mavs can hit some threes or shooting lights out from 3, could possibly go over. So I think if you like Suns, it definitely should be an under game. I lean to the under here, but I still lean to the Mavs. I just think that their defense is a lot of people are overlooking the Mavs right now, and this kind of reminds me of the 2011 team where no one respects them, but they actually have a lot of key pieces here and playing some championship style defense, guys. Defense wins championships. That's how you win games. So you can have an offshoot night, and in basketball, if your defense is locked down and you can hold the other team, you'll have a chance to win the game, my guy. But let's talk about some shirts here, man. I got 1,000 shirts over here, man. I need y'all show some support, man. I don't have room in my house anymore, guys. Jay, we just got a bunch of Jay and Shark shirts, man. We're doing a giveaway tomorrow for the YouTube followers and the Twitter followers. Please, man, show some support with the Jay and Shark shirts. Hey, one of us gonna cash today, right, guys? So y'all got to get a shirt. Smack City, us against the bookies, all that good stuff. But talk about some picks here, Punt. What you liking on today's card, then kick it to Shark.
Yeah, only official for me is the Phoenix Suns minus 5.5 here. If you haven't got a 5.5, I'm completely fine laying a flat 6 here. I wouldn't go any above that though. That's all for today. And like Jay said, I think tomorrow's card looking a lot more inviting.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, don't go nuts on these games. Just because they are on TV and it's a playoff game does not mean you need 5x unit size. And just a snapshot of what goes on in our DMs, a lot of people message me frequently saying, hey, Shark, I used to bet 500 a game. We're going 10 grand on this. And they're not bullshitting. they're dead serious.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where the game loses. All of a sudden, you're off a cliff. And betting is not 100% win rate, even for top guys. I've had a bit of an issue in the first round. It happens to all of us. So please be responsible with your bankroll management, not for us, for you, so you don't dislike yourself. You got to love yourself, but you have to treat yourself right to like yourself. And speaking of liking yourself and liking something, buy hat engaged, Phoenix Suns -5.5. Jay Money, close them out, and let's dominate on this beautiful Monday afternoon in May.
Man, I love doing shows with you guys, man. Living an incredible life. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm up heavy from the Mavs. We bet them game 2 to game 6, all official, up heavy, guys. I'll be honest. I bet a very little. I'm on this personal. It's nothing official. When I'm on official, that's me telling you, you should ride with me with this shit. This shit finna cash. I'll be honest. Today, I'm kind of just riding with my team. I put a little something on it. They made me a bunch of money last series, but this is a small play for me. It's personal. I took Mavs plus the 6. I'm not telling you guys to take it, guys. Nothing official. This is personal. Me going with my team. I do think that a lot of people count us out. And another thing, my new angle in the playoffs that I've seen start to cash at a high rate is what we did with me and Shark did with the Bulls versus the Bucks. When a team owns you during the regular season, like the Bucks did over the Bulls, 4-0 straight up, I want to buy that team in game 1 of the playoffs just for them to try to at least get over that psychological hump, to at least so you can prove to yourself that you can hang with this team. Y'all know me. I look at games from like a basketball player standpoint. If it's me out there, we got to go out here and have a good output, or it's going to be a long series, right? Or it might be over quick. But if you win that game 1, it flips the whole narrative. You see what I'm saying? To say, no, we can do this shit. Playoffs is a whole different game. They hadn't seen this version of the Mavs, you see what I'm saying? And they're playing lights out right now. So be interested to see what happens. But personal, did put some on Mavs plus the 6. I need the Heat minus the 4 as well. It's up to 7.5. Couldn't talk you off. But if you're really on this and locked in, guys, the playoffs, you should have got the Heat early, guys. Love you guys as always, man. Josh, go make sure you guys go follow him on Twitter at @punt_school. Follow Shark as well at Sharks in Sports. You can follow me as well at J Money is Money, man. Y'all go check out the shirts at jmoneyismoney, jmoneyismoney.com, guys. We back tomorrow with some bangers. We out.